What's up, y'all? It's T-Tar, and today we're looking at more of y'all's theories for Pokemon in 2024. Let's go. Visit Arvin with the Scarlet and Violet book. So after you use Trubigus to get the Paradox Scarlet and Violet book, that's just what I'm gonna call it. If you go back to Arvin, he says, you get some dialogue. Hey T-Tar, it's not much, but Arvin acknowledges you've got a Scarlet and Violet book if you visit his dorm, but you don't get the chance to tell him it's the real one. So this is what Arvin says. Oh, that the Violet book? Did you borrow the copy in the entrance hall? Game Freak, how can you do this? That's three things now, okay? They give us the key for no reason, lock us out of the time machine, and then make the whole world oblivious to the fact that we have the key to the time machine. Nah, I'm never letting this go. They planned content and got rid of it. Like, I can't just open the big book and show him his parents' handwriting on the front. He would recognize it. The game intentionally stops you from making him realize. Sada and Toro could have given us a different copy of the book, not their actual scribbled handwriting one. You tell me they didn't buy like 6 copies? Alright, dudes, here's an interesting idea. 3rd and 4th DLC? Hey T-Tar, I was thinking about how you were saying why they didn't just make the epilogue a DLC, and I figured it out. So they bring up a cool idea that Game Freak can do, which is that the same way we had the Indigo disc release December 13th, then we waited a month, and then we got the Peach Run event, right? If Game Freak and Pokemon in general really has to stall for a potential year to get used to the new console, which isn't set in stone, right? It's just speculation. Then maybe one way they could stall is events like Mochi Mayhem, where in like 2 months, there's another event releasing a mythical. And then another. So there's like, throughout the year, we get 2 more like the Mochi Mayhem. And so a new update would come out, adding a new slot into the Pokedex. So 1026 for another Pokemon, 1027 for another. This way, Pokemon can stall while keeping Pokemon still in the talks. The only downside of this idea is this sounds like free updates, and we know Pokemon's trying to make a profit. These mythical events could be how Game Freak stalls for 2024 and releases something big for 2025. They could go to different regions, which would make sense for Ku saying his 2024 predictions and giving us 4 different regions. Wow, that's a cool way to look at it. So Ku's tweet, right? We had Kanto, Johto, Unova, and Paldea. So the Paldea could work as Mochi Mayhem, and then you get 3 more mythical events. So for example, an expensive SSN boat ride for Kanto, maybe like Goldenrod for Johto, something for Unova, the train. So it'd pretty much be 1 hour gameplays, 1 hour updates. Yeah, if it weren't for the money making, this would be a solid idea. I mean, Pokemon could do like the Mario Kart 8 type DLC or the Smash type DLC where you buy a package and it has like 5 slots showing and only 1 reveals every month. You know what I mean? But in that scenario, they should have just made Peach Run the first of 3 slots, for example, to make that. Alright, you know, Game Freak might be considering this for a future game because that's a good idea. I mean, they still could do it. Let's see. Alright, my dudes, I should end this video showing you something Riddler Ku posted. It's about teasing the next games, but it's in riddle form, so it's not as obvious, but we know what he's talking about. So here it is, my dudes. He posts this picture. Actually, let me show you this one first, just so I can make y'all immune to Ku when he's trolling. Here's the tweet. He says, no way, what did they mean by this? And it's a picture of Kieran's grandpa and Kieran. You notice their hair kind of looks similar. And then Kieran's grandma and Kieran's new hair. They look similar too. No way, what did they mean by this? Let's actually see what the comments say before I talk about this. It means Pokemon White 3 will have Kieran's ancestors, and Black 3 will have future versions. Most likely they're adult kids. So he's trolling. This means nothing. In fact, what it probably is to save time, Game Freak just took like an existing hairstyle and modified that to make the different ones. So, you know, even though he puts this, you have to look at this as ironic. But now let's look at something that isn't ironic. So this is the tweet I wanted to show you. It's like the only hint that's new that he's posted. I'll keep y'all posted if he posts more. But it goes like this. He put a picture of Girafarig and future Cobalion. So yeah, he just got a Girafarig in the way while he's encountering Iron Crown. And he puts the caption, which. This is like Ku in the midst of all these weird posts to add a teaser out of nowhere. That is what this is. So what he's effectively done here is he's put a Johto Pokemon and then a Unova Pokemon and asked which. So he's asking, 2024, you already saw my map predictions. Johto and Unova are both there. So I'm gonna ask you one more time. which do y'all think for 2024? Is Johto being revisited or Unova? Which is fun. We have 7 weeks, my dudes, and we're gonna know the answer most likely. Nothing's set in stone, but we know Pokemon's trying to make money. They're gonna announce something on Pokemon Day. So Johto or Unova? Once again, we have these teasers. Which would y'all think in the comments? And then there's additional layers you can try to look into for this photo. Like, of all the ways he could have depicted Johto and Unova, he showed a futuristic Unova Pokemon. So this brings up the idea a lot of people are speculating after Legends Arceus came out, which is that maybe the next Legends game, just like how we went to the past, it's in the future. Also goes back to how they made future forms for the Paradox Univas, right? Obviously, if you just went like 200 years in the future for Unova, it's not like that's where the Paradox Swords of Justice are from. I'm assuming they're from like thousands of years in the future at least. But that's one idea. But another way to interpret future could be what I was saying before, which is just modern Unova games. So pretty much happening right after Paldea, you go to a more modern Unova where those 4 blueberry people we met, they're some of the gym leaders. And we got a new champion and all. Here we go. Classic Johto game and futuristic Unova game. That's a pretty good idea too. So I just made a video talking about a super Johto game idea. Who knows if they'll do it or not, but the potential is still there, whether they want to realize it or not. But if we go back to the base idea, the Pokemon Crystal idea, that also works, you know, in the vein of Let's Go. So we got Let's Go Johto and a more thought out Unova. Here we go. True Johto remake, Legends Unova in the future, future Legends Unova. Seems to be Johto in 2024 and Unova in 2025. But yeah, so seeing a tweet like this, it solidifies back that we're moving away from Scarlet and Violet. You know what I mean? We talked about ways they could stall using Scarlet and Violet in this video, the little mythical updates. We talked about a 3rd DLC and how that's unlikely. Seeing that tweet kind of leans us back to the idea that Scarlet and Violet is done. We are moving to Johto and Unova this year. And yeah, my dudes, make sure to shank that like button. We've got 7 weeks until Pokemon Day. We gonna make it, y'all. I'm here to make your trip as smooth as possible. We have so much to talk about. I'll see y'all in the next one. Take care.